Welcome to my channel. Make sure you hit the like button, share, and subscribe. So in light of all the chaos happening now and all the news coming out about Diddy, there was one instance involving him that I have always been curious about. Now, I know that you guys probably heard the name Wolf before. He was one of Diddy's bodyguards back in the days. And he was also affiliated and very involved with BMF. If you listen to Diddy's other bodyguard, Gene Deal, he talks a lot about Wolf. But the circumstances surrounding him being killed in Atlanta, along with another bodyguard of Diddy's named Riz, in which case Riz and Wolf are very, very good friends. I was always curious about that. So recently, Gene Deal was on Tisa Tell's channel, and he did an interview with her, and he kind of shed light on it. But first, let's go into the article that explained what happened when they both passed away. This article was written a few days after the tragic incident by an independent newspaper called Atlanta Journal-Constitution, and it was written by Ernie Suggs and Steve Vasseur. Buckhead shootout victims mourned. Funeral goers in New York are urged to turn away from violence and to become lifesavers. Anthony Jones and Lamont Gertie were remembered in New York services Wednesday, as police investigators in Atlanta continue to try to piece together what led to a deadly gun battle in Buckhead a week ago. Mourners hundreds of miles away in New York were told to stop wasting precious blood. Let's avenge their deaths by being lifesavers, the Reverend James A. Forbes Jr. told a packed crowd at Riverside Church. He was referring to the shooting deaths of Anthony Wolf Jones and Lamont Riz Gertie, who died November 11th on Bowling Way in Buckhead Village after a hip-hop night at the Chaos nightclub. Demetrius Meach Flannery, who police believe knew the two men, is being held on 2 counts of murder in killings that police say may have stemmed from an altercation over a woman. Police hope a security camera tape from a neighboring restaurant will help clarify whether they are dealing with a case of murder or self-defense. The police recently searched Flannery's Metro Atlanta residence and found a weapon, but they are awaiting ballistics tests, Sergeant John Quigley said. Flannery didn't have a gun when he was arrested after seeking treatment for 2 bullet wounds at North Fulton Regional Medical Center after the shooting. Flannery said he wasn't armed the night of the shooting and is a victim. Drew Findling, his defense lawyer, said his investigator has interviewed a number of witnesses who support his client's claim. We're confident the tape will show that he did not have any weapon, nor did he fire any weapons, Findling said. I represent an aggravated assault victim, and there is no evidence to suggest otherwise now. The lawyer said he is preparing for a November 26 preliminary hearing in which he hopes to either get the charges dismissed or at least get Flannery out of jail on bail. Police are investigating whether Flannery is part of a group called the Black Mafia Family, not the musical group by that name, whose members reputedly act as both bodyguards and enforcers for hip-hop bigwigs. People familiar with Atlantic's hip-hop culture said the group is known for rolling into nightclubs and throwing lots of money around on drinks and tips to waitresses. The Buckhead killings have prompted the Atlanta City Council to consider a proposal to close bars at 3 a.m. instead of 4 a.m. A council committee will take up the issue. Jones and Gertie were buried Wednesday in New York the way they lived and died together. Family and friends, including their close friend hip-hop music artist Sean P. Diddy Combs, packed the massive church. The matching gray caskets containing the bodies of the 2 men, both 38, rested at opposite sides of the pulpit, surrounded by huge floral arrangements. Large photographs showed the men smiling. Combs, who spoke at the funeral, said that before he arrived at the church, he thought about looking up brothers in the dictionary to truly define how he felt about Jones, who lived in Atlanta, and Gertie, who had lived with Combs for the past 2 months in New York. But I changed my mind, Combs said. Wolf and Gertie are the definition of brothers. They were brothers to each other and brothers to all of us. I never knew the true meaning of brothers until I met Wolf. I met Gertie, Riz, later, and he just solidified that. They were two of the greatest men that any of us ever knew. Gertie was remembered as an avid reader with a mind full of conspiracy theories, someone who would never leave a friend behind. Jones was remembered as a loving and loyal friend, devoted to his family, parents, and 5 children. In death, they were treated like stars. The funeral home handling the arrangements was the Frank E. Campbell Funeral Home in Manhattan, which handled arrangements for such celebrities as John Lennon, Jacqueline Kennedy Onassis, Aaliyah, and rap star Notorious B.I.G., a close friend of Combs, who was also gunned down. Anthony Van Jones, also known as Wolf, was born February 20th, 1965 in New York City, the eldest of 3 sons. According to members of his family, as his hair started to grow, he developed a widow's peak and adopted the name Wolfgang, which eventually became Wolf. Jones graduated with Gertie in 1983 from the Bronx Harry Truman High School. He attended Bronx Community College for a while and worked odd jobs at United Parcel Service and in construction before landing with Combs as a bodyguard. Sorry, y'all. In 1999, Combs, Jones, Jamal Shine Barrow, and singer Jennifer Lopez were in a Manhattan nightclub when shots rang out. In 2001, Barrow was convicted of wounding 2 men in that shooting and sentenced to 10 years in prison. In the same trial, Jones was acquitted of criminal possession of a weapon, and Combs was acquitted of weapons and bribery charges. About 6 weeks ago, Jones indicated he was ready to change his life, said Atlanta Hot 107.9 announcer Emperor Searcy. He was saying there wasn't anything in the clubs but trouble. Combs said he and Jones met in Miami the weekend before the Buckhead shootings. We had a good time. We watched the fight, had dinner, Combs remembered. He was calm, peaceful, and positive. Lamont Anthony Gertie was born 7 months after his friend Jones on September 18, 1965, in an area of the Bronx known as the Valley. The youngest of 3 children, Gertie was regarded as the prince of the family, said his niece Cherise Gertie. He had so much love, she said. People knew not to go too far with him, but he still respected people. Gertie left New York in the early 1990s to move to Atlanta and pursue a career in music. He moved back to New York this summer to spend more time with his son, Lamont Anthony Jr. Combs said Gertie impressed him with his seriousness about getting his life together. Gertie and Jones' plans to get their lives back together came to a brutal end around 4 a.m. on November 11th. Earlier, Jones got into a spat with his girlfriend, an exotic dancer, who had come into the club with a group of men, which included Flannery, said club owner Brian Alt, who also, well, that doesn't matter. The girlfriend knocked Jones' cap off his head, and Alt said he told Jones at 1:30 a.m. that he had to leave to quell potential trouble. The club owner didn't think the girlfriend was with Flannery. Jones left peacefully, but at some point apparently got together with Gertie, who had not been at the club. The 2 men apparently ended up outside the club sometime before it closed at 4 a.m. What happened then isn't clear, but Gertie died at the scene from a gunshot to the chest, and Jones died at Grady Memorial Hospital. Both Jones, Wolf, and Gertie Riz were found with weapons next to them, and about 27 rounds were fired. As Forbes concluded his sermon, he again reminded the audience to stop pimping and doing bad stuff. Since they are unalive, the minister said, why don't we make up our minds that violence has to go? So that tells the whole story about what happened allegedly with Wolf and Riz. But Gene Deal gave a more clear story of what happened.
Wolf was with Christopher Williams and Heavy D and them working for security and stuff for them before Puff was even in the whole thing. But Wolf was part of this crew called Butt Naked. They used to give parties, right? But other than that, they were street entrepreneurs that two of the individuals got arrested and they received 9 16-to-life sentences in the courts.
Oh, wow.
Right. The people in Virginia did not know Wolf. So Wolf took it to trial and beat it. So now Wolf, because he was a part of that team, Butt Naked, that used to finance Puff and his artists. You understand? Before, when Puff lost the job at Uptown Records, he still had to find.
Now this is the part that gets me, because this is the part where Gene Deal says that Wolf and Riz was helping Diddy finance his business dealings because he had just lost a job with Andre Harrell over at Uptown Records. So they were helping him finance his moves and his businesses and his artists.
Finance Craig Mack, Biggie, and try to get this to before he got to deal with the Clyde Davis. One of them used to bundle money through Bad Boy with Puff, right?
Okay, how?
Keep his status. So now, when Corey goes to jail, Puff is the one that's hitting Wolf off. When Corey goes on the run, Puff is the one that hitting Wolf off with the paper bags to make sure Corey can still be on the run.
Oh.
Corey gets caught. He start doing his time. Puff don't want to pay no more.
Now, after Corey gets caught, Puff doesn't want to give Wolf money anymore to send to Corey or take care of Corey. So Wolf was on his ass the whole time for him to make sure he gave money for Corey's kids and help Corey out with his commissary while he was locked up.
But Wolf made sure he paid and made sure Lamont and Corey had their commissaries, and they still got kids out here. So they had to make sure their kids was all right too and do some of that. A lot of that money was coming from Wolf. Wolf said, I had $300,000 that I spent. I was right there in the office when Puff promised him, when I do this Universal deal, I'm going to give you your money.
So apparently, Wolf was going to his pockets to make sure everything was good with Diddy, his artists, and anything else he had to take care of as far as the label, him building up the label and everything was concerned. So this was before he signed a deal with Universal or whomever. I think it was Clive Davis through Arista Records, through Universal. But let's continue.
Wolf didn't see that deal.
He just said, no, you ain't getting it.
No. BMF ended up killing who's his friend was Puff.
How long between him saying, I'm not giving you that money, and Wolf passing away like that?
I don't know the dates, but it wasn't long at all. It wasn't long at all. Because Wolf said, I don't understand why Wolf would say what he said, yo, I'm going to show you them niggas ain't who you think they are, And the dude that Wolf put down as a gunman to BMF is the dude that killed Wolf.
Oh, wow.
The dude that he put with him.
I think it was Big Meech, right?
Meech didn't kill him, but Meech did.
Now, the person that Gene is saying allegedly wound up unaliving Wolf and Riz was someone that Wolf introduced to Big Meech and them and told him that he should have him as a member of BMF because he stood on business. But he was the one that was able to get close enough to Wolf and Riz to shoot them. They didn't see that coming from this guy. They were involved in a shootout but they didn't think that they had to worry about this dude because Wolf was the one that put him on to BMF.
It was the fight that he had with
Oh, that's right. He was there at the gun, but they said that happened over a girl at the club. Or do you think that might have just been an excuse?
No. It had something to do with her, but Wolf had that girl was about 6 weeks pregnant with Wolf's child. And people don't know that. She was 6 weeks pregnant with Wolf's child. That's the same girl that Puff offered Wolf $10,000 to have sex with. And Wolf got mad and said, yo, I should have let you have sex with the BITCH. But she came over there and knocked Wolf's hat off his head. So Wolf goes over there to check her. Meech get involved with her because this girl is with a friend of Meech that he's about to do some business with.
Mm-hmm.
You understand?
Mm-hmm.
But they throw Wolf out the club. Him and Riz them, they throw them out the club. So it led to one thing, led to another. Meech tried to come out and talk to Wolf, add some words. Meech and somebody else got shot in the leg, and Meech got shot in the buttocks. And one of the dudes that Wolf knew got close enough because Wolf told him, since I know you, even though I put you down with being meth, I told Meech to put you down because you was like that in the street. He ended up shooting Wolf and killing him.
So when did he get the call about, yo, get your boy? Was that a day?
Called him while he was in the club, going in the back of the club. Meech called Puff.
What?
And this is what Mama Jones is letting me hear from the investigators through their wiretapping.
What? Yo, Diddy got a problem then. That slowed down. And he said, do what you got to do. And the next thing you know, that was last night anybody off the wall.
Yeah. And Riz.
So how did Diddy act in the days after that came to pass?
How did Diddy what?
How did he act after when Wolf was assassinated?
Gave Meech party.
What?
When Meech got out of jail, he gave Meech a party.
What? What did everybody say about that? Like the people, because you know, everybody knew. Like, how do you do that with no shame?
I don't know. I had a conversation with Meech myself. We met in Cancun. He was in the presidential suite at Ritz-Carlton. He invited me down to the room. Big man, come on down to the room, man. I said, Meech, listen here, brother. We was all family. We was all cool. I don't know what happened between you and Wolf. And I didn't know the conversation he had with Puff at the time until Mama Jones told me later. I said, what happened with you and Wolf? That's two men dealing with shit. But I can't drink with you no more, bro. He shook my hand, I shook his hand, and that was it.
Wow. Now that is wild.
Now, from what I've been discovering so far about Diddy, he seems to be the type of personality that if anybody had any type of authority over him, or if it was someone he felt he couldn't handle himself, he would somehow maneuver a situation whereas he could get rid of these people any way that he could, jail or DEATH. If you guys remember, if you've heard Gene Dill speak before on the time when Suge and Pac and Big and all of them was beefing, he said that he wanted it to end because it was messing up his life, and he didn't care if Suge went to jail, Pac was unalived, and Big was unalived, and this was confirmed by another person that was there that called into Gene Dill's show while he was on live. So it's a lot of cases that I could look at. Heavy D, Andre Harrell, all of these people that would check Buck Diddy. And before he got into all of this trouble really, really deep, these people wound up being not here anymore. They're not here anymore. So you guys let me know what you think about that, because I think it was foul. that he told Meech when Meech called him about Wolf and told him to talk to Wolf or calm him down or whatever, that he said, do what you gotta do. He could have ended that situation right there by saying, all right, let me call Wolf, and speaking to Wolf on the phone and telling Meech, fall back, don't do nothing, that's my man. But he did not do that. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Peace and love.